Hey there, friends and viewers, this is Hengest with TGN, and you have clicked on the Restoration Druid changes for patch 4.2. Now don't get your hopes up, because not a whole lot's going on here. Basically, there's been one gigantic change that is really going to modify how tank healing works in this game. The mastery has been completely replaced. As far as I know, this is the first time this has happened in this game, where a mastery has been completely supplanted by a different one. The old mastery in patch 4.1 is called Symbiosis. Now before we go on, you need to understand how that mastery works. Basically, anytime one of your healing over time effects is active on a target, any of your single point heals like Healing Touch, Nourish, even the initial heal from Regrowth will be amplified by a set percentage modified by your mastery value. Essentially what's happening is the tables are being turned. The change reads as follows. Symbiosis, the mastery, has been removed and replaced with Harmony. Harmony increases direct healing by an additional 10%, and casting direct healing spells grants an additional 10% bonus to periodic healing for 10 seconds. Each point of mastery increases each bonus by additional 1.25%. That sounds kind of confusing. Basically all it means is that anytime you use a single point heal, like Healing Touch or Nourish, or even the single point heal from Regrowth, for 10 seconds afterward, all of your healing over time effects will be amplified by 10%, which will thereby be modified for every point of mastery by 1.25%. Now, I probably sound like I'm crunching numbers, not making any sense. Basically, all it means is that you want to either open with a Regrowth or another single point heal before you start hotting up your targets, because they will receive a lot more healing from those hots after they've been hit by one of those single point heals. I don't know why I keep saying single point heals, that's just the way I articulate it. But basically, Healing Touch, Nourish, Swift Mend, and the initial heal from Regrowth are all considered those single point heals. Now, that's a big change. In addition to that, all healing critical hits in the game are being changed from 50% bonus to 100% bonus, the same as most damaging attacks. So overall, healing is being buffed in the game for every spec. That's also a big change. So I mentioned it's going to affect how tank healing works, and it will. Basically, you had to have hots up on your tank before you started spamming Healing Touch or Nourish or Regrowth or whatever you were using before. Now it's just in reverse. You want to use your single point heals before you put up hots. So that, for most part, just means opening with a Regrowth, and then you have 10 seconds afterward to get at the rest of your healing over time effects. The last change that is noticeable is going to be how Innervate works. Innervate now grants an ally target 5% of his or her maximum mana over 10 seconds, but still grants 20% of the druid's maximum mana over 10 seconds when self-cast. So all that means is that Balance and Feral Druids who are using their Innervates to help out healers will have that utility greatly reduced. Before, it would have the full effect of Innervate, and now it's only 5%. So say for instance, an Arcane Mage is using all of his cooldowns in the start of his fight, and Mana Jam Evocation, he's out of mana again. He asks for an Innervate from a Feral Druid or a Balanced Druid, and it's going to be much less effective. So it forces healers and Arcane Mages in general to be really much more careful with their mana pool, because Innervate is no longer as valuable as it used to be. You can help to rectify that a little bit by using the Glyph of Innervate, which now causes the druid to gain 10% of his or her maximum mana over 10 seconds when Innervate is used on a friendly target, which kind of just helps out the druids that are using those Innervates to help out their allies. Not really a big change, but certainly if you're a raid utility like a Feral or a Balance, you want to pick up that Glyph as well. So guys, that pretty much sums up the changes for the Restoration Druid in patch 4.2. I wouldn't say it's really going to change how your healing strategies affect players. It's just going to reduce the amount of raid healing you're able to do effectively whenever you're not in tree form, able to spam instant cast regrowths and such. So yeah, your hots are basically going to be healing less unless you're able to put up a single point heal on a raid target or a tank. Alright guys, that pretty much does it. This is Hengest with TGN. Thanks for watching. Click on the dancing tree to be taken back to the Druid Changes hub and check out the Feral Druid as well as that Balanced Druid, those crit chickens that everyone loves. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.